Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety splicket. Go watch a movie.
And welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 168. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Today, we are doing Cosmic Sin. And that'll be fun. Well, before we get into that, a little bit of entertainment news. Do you remember, sir, a show anime called Hellsing?
Vaguely, yes.
They employed Alucard, which is Dracula backwards, a secret agency employed him to help them hunt down other vampires and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The John Wick franchise writer is writing a live action film for Amazon for that show. Yes. And I'm thinking they can do some magic with it. It'll give vampires a good name again. Mm-hmm. Because what was the last good vampire, stuff you saw?
Oh man, I
got tainted.
I always go back to The Lost Boys.
Yes,
I can't help it, but Let Me In, Let the Right One In, whichever one you want to go with, was awesome. And then We Are the Night. I always go to
that one. I'm not familiar with.
That one is, oh man, I got to tell you. It's a breath of fresh air. It's really, really good in its own way. It's not what you would expect. And then I even go back further. I even go back to like some stuff from like way back in the 80s that like most people don't mention. I don't know. Just anything.
So everything before Twilight ruined vampires.
Yes, anything before Twinkling Vampires is good to me.
And that's what I was getting at, like, because since Twilight, we haven't really had, much good, unless I'm missing something, which if I am, please point it out to me.
You're not.
There hasn't been much. So hopefully this is that. Yeah. Hopefully this is a vampire movie we're looking for, because Alucard was a bloodthirsty bastard, and it's a very gory, bloody anime, like most animes are. So, and it's being written by the guy who wrote John Wick, for God's sake. So we can expect good things, hopefully. A while ago, we talked about the Powerpuff Girls doing a live action movie or TV show. Mm-hmm. The cast has been found. And the cast is Cole Bennett from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Dove Cameron, she was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a little bit on some other Disney movies. And Yana Peralt. And in the order, there will be Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. So... Mm-hmm. Can you picture all three of these ladies?
I'm trying.
It's gonna be, I'll share that with you. It's gonna be difficult, I think. I guess I don't know what they're going for. Is the thing. So I guess that's the hard part, because you look at those ladies, you don't think Powerpuff Girls at all.
No, I kind of see almost like just, I don't know. It's weird. It's like they almost look alike. Like they're almost just all the same hotness. Like, what I mean? Which I guess makes sense for the anime style. But yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if they're shoving them into high school. I don't know if, it's going to be different. I'm interested, to say the least, of what they're going to do.
I'll keep an open mind.
Yes. Yes. They did definitely find a badass looking Buttercup. I think that's her name, right? The green one. Whichever one's angry. I don't know. The angry one. But
I'm angry.
That'll be angry. That'll bring us to a last segment that we used to do called Let's Discuss the Showbiz.
Let's do it.
I'm bringing this back because cancel culture has gotten out of hand. Have you heard the latest cancel news?
Outside of the whole Dr. Seuss thing and Mr. Potato Head, no. If there's more than that, then no, I haven't heard it.
Both equally ridiculous, but also now they're adding Pepe Le Pew.
Okay.
I mean, if we can't separate our cartoon entertainment, Looney Tunes from reality, they said he propagates a rape culture.
Oh.
And it's like, yes, the skunk was a horn dog, but come on.
But yeah, oh man, I'm not even going to comment because I'm just going to get myself in trouble. Just leave it alone.
I just don't. We can't. And now they're saying they're going after Miss Piggy for the same reasons. It's just.
But just pretend it doesn't exist. Just pretend it doesn't exist.
Pepe has now been removed from the next Space Jam movie because of this.
He's still out there. He still exists.
Poor guy's out of a job.
In our memories, he still exists. We'll just leave it alone. We'll just pretend like all this stuff that's happening doesn't exist, and we'll move on with our lives.
I just find it insane that a cartoon, and yet, let's think about this. Have you ever watched Family Guy?
Yes.
There's an old man neighbor who whistles when he talks. Haven't seen paper in a while. You can come on. He literally wants to rape little boys.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody laughs at it. I don't understand it either, but it's a thing.
But the skunk who's just desperately in love with this cat, okay, that's that we'll end that there because we will get in trouble.
Run away, run as far as you can.
Let's go to trailers. You first with me, sir.
You go ahead.
Mine is one that I'm sure no one has ever seen before. But I saw it and it made me laugh and it evoked emotion. I would probably never watch the movie because it looks like shit. Mine is Sharks of the Corn.
What's up?
It's exactly what you think. Children of the Corn with sharks.
Sharks of the Corn.
Yes.
Okay. You're right. I've never seen this one.
So basically, it starts like any other horror movie. There's a man and a woman on a picnic right outside of a cornfield, and she's like, "You want to come over here, big boy?" And she creeps into the cornfield, starts taking off her clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly we get a shark from the first person view of a shark. We can see the side of its head. It's zooming through the corn towards this lady. And by the time she gets naked, it pops out and she proceeds to yell, "Shark!" And then the insanity ensues where people, for some reason, are popping up in this cornfield, getting killed by this shark. Or sharks in the corn. It's just made me laugh. Yeah. Check that one out if you guys get a check.
I don't know if I can top that, but yeah, I'm going to try. Mine is, I feel like it's more of a teaser trailer than an actual trailer. Mm-hmm. It's for the movie Master. Mm-hmm. And it's an animated flick that has a African-American female as the main lead, it appears. And the trailer is basically just her training. It's just her punching and kicking in a little studio, whatever martial arts studio, and she's like doing some stuff to those what are those wooden things called that people like train on? Like it's like a wooden,
get in between them and like
it's like one of those wooden dummies, like wooden human dummies. Like she's training on one of those, and that's basically it. It doesn't have a whole lot of story. It doesn't have a whole lot of background to it, but it just looks to me to be extremely interesting. I like how there's little hints that there's something more going on, like just a photo that falls over while she's training that she picks up, and you kind of look at it and be like, okay, there's something going on here, but you don't know what. And I kind of like the mystery of it. And the fact that she's just like, other than the fact that it's a female and it's like an African-American, like doing martial arts, which is like, it reminds me of The Last Dragon, which I obviously love.
Who's the master?
Who is the show enough? Like I just love that movie, and it kind of it just brought me back to that for some reason. I don't know why, because it has no like they don't match whatsoever. But it brought me back to that, and I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to see this, to see where they're going with it, to figure out why the teaser trailer is just so vague. There's no storyline to it. You don't know what's going on. I can't wait to see what's actually happening with this one. So it just looks super interesting to me. The Master. I can't wait for it.
Check that out.
It's just a girl punching the thing, and that's all it is.
There's like some intense music behind it, I'm sure.
There's some music in there, yes. But it's more just her punching and electricity forming randomly out of like thin air. It just looks good.
Gotcha. And it's called The Master.
Just Master, I think.
Master, okay.
Master. 2021.
All right.
Get ready for it.
I am. That will bring us to Cosmic Sin. Watchbot, if you would not mind.
In the year 2524, 4 centuries after humans started colonizing the outer planets, retired General James Ford gets called back into service after a hostile alien fleet attacks soldiers on a remote planet. The threat against mankind soon escalates into an interstellar war as Ford and a team of elite soldiers try to stop the imminent attack before it's too late. It stars Bruce Willis.
Thank you. Wait, what did you say? Bruce Willis was in this movie? Because all I saw was a begrudging old man mumbling one line at a time. Maybe I'm confused. I don't know. Cosmic Sin. What can I say about this movie other than the fuck did I watch? This was the most convoluted, crappy version of a sci-fi scrapped together piece of crap that I've ever seen. And that son of a bitch just melded in. Like, and I don't know if there's a clause in his contract to where he can only have one line per person he talks to, but like maybe he didn't want to do this movie and they just tossed him some money and said, we just need you for I don't know, but what the fuck?
I don't know what this was. I mean, in total agreement with you. There was one moment in the movie where I was happy. One moment. It's when he was in the bar in the very beginning of the movie, and they zoomed in on him, and he was giving that. I don't know if it's just his face or if that's an actual like expression that he does. He was doing that like Bruce Willis smile. Like, I'm suave. I'm the shit. Like, guess what, y'all? I'm Bruce Willis, bitch. That's what he was like. That smile. That's the only moment in the movie where I was like content. Outside of that, I was completely disappointed.
I was beyond disappointed. I was sitting there like, why did they even hire him? They just needed his name. Because I think if they would have made God damn it. If they would have made Frank.
Yes, Frank, yes. They would have made him
Ford instead of Bruce being James Ford, and then make Bruce Frank. Maybe.
They needed to take Bruce out of there completely because it just was a distraction.
For no reason.
I mean, Frank was fine.
Yeah.
And
For what they gave him.
Yeah,
they barely gave him anything either.
But I mean, yeah, they need to take. There was no point for Bruce to be in there.
None.
It was just random and weird. I wanted him to not be in there. I would have been, if they had a cast a no name, I would have been more on board. I still would have hated it, but I would have been more on board with my hate if they hadn't put Bruce in there.
Because they first of all, this story made no sense whatsoever. There was not a part of this thing that you're like, oh, I understand what's happening here. Because first of all, they're on this remote planet, or supposedly we find it remote. It's just the two of us on this planet. We're just now getting it, and then 6 days later, why is this thing so populated? Or did I miss where they went to a different planet? What?
I don't know. I feel like they said they were on a planet where nobody else was at.
Yeah, just those two. Right?
And it was just two young folks who were about to get it on, which is just like what you see in every horror movie. Like two people are about to get it on. So guess what? They're about to die. And guess what happens? So I didn't like that it was so obvious.
Yep.
And it was so just, it didn't like lend to anything. It was just, this is what it is. Guess what?
And it was such a big deal. First contact.
They're dead. Guess what? We're going to move on to the next part of the film, which still didn't really, collide with the rest of the movie.
And why was Frank's character first thought as he halts traffic? I'm ready to call Bruce Willis.
I don't know what was. It's. I don't know. It was bad. Everything about it was bad. I find it hard to think of one positive thing to say about this movie. From the mech suits or mech armor, whatever you want to call it.
Which were just the dumbest way to travel through space.
Yes.
Why? Whose idea was this?
Nope. Horrible.
And then they fly through a space battle at one point, and it's just like they don't even mention it. It's just I just thought it looked cool.
There was one woman with, yellowish blonde braids, with a
big sniper rifle,
and I feel like she was somebody that they cast because she was somebody, and I don't know who that somebody was. Because it felt like they were like making a point, like, look at me, I'm this person, I'm like famous over here, and I'm in this movie, but I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you're in this movie, and I don't know why this movie is even being made because it's pretty horrible. So I'm tuned out. I was completely tuned out for the whole movie. It was pretty much wash.
Who greenlit this? I don't know why.
Somebody.
The dialogue was shitty. The concept was shitty. Oh no, we made first contact. Now we got to go find this guy who wants nuked the civilization. Yeah. And then it's like they keep this a secret from the government and decided to take a 6-man team to stop this threat instead of getting backup from the government.
I didn't like how Bruce Willis's character had like this buddy who it almost felt like he was the guy from the Avengers movies, like the guy like Happy. It felt like he was him. Happy. Yeah, it felt like it was him, but I'm just like, it doesn't work. I don't get why they're doing this. The whole movie, I just felt off.
Because it's like this. He would go, so Ford, should we go do this? Because I'm real happy about this. This is going to be the best day of our lives. I've got a gun and I want to die standing up. What do you think? I think that's great. It's like, was he trying to challenge? Was he trying to challenge or channel Corbin Dallas?
Frank's character though could have been good. Yeah, I will say that.
But they just left him sitting in space.
Yeah, he just left him he's just floating. I'm here. He shows up. He's in the beginning, and then he like disappears for the middle of the movie. And at the end of the movie, he's like, "I'm here again. Guess what? I could do this."
For 45 minutes, this poor bastard floating in space. He could have meant so much to this movie.
So bad.
Why would you do that? I would be so pissed. Like, don't even credit me. Take me off the poster.
Yes,
You're definitely
absolutely.
sitting in space for 45 minutes.
I definitely didn't like the younger, was like a nephew or something from Frank's character.
Quote-unquote hero.
Because it wasn't just the acting being bad. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The acting was bad with him.
Yes.
The acting was bad, and the storyline didn't make sense with him in it. All of it just completely just imploded, and it just made me hate it even more.
And then they try to come up with this zombie concept for these fucking things. After he shoots it once, and he's like, "Oh, that didn't work." Then he shoots it in the head. You got to shoot him in the eye. It's like, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, none of it works. I didn't like the aliens.
No,
they were so. And I know what people are thinking. Like, you guys just ranted and raved about how good Psycho Gorman was. And like how the quality of the characters, it was fine for that movie because that movie knew what it was.
Yes,
this one is trying to be something else.
This big budget sci-fi movie that shouldn't, like, to call this. You know how people say, "Oh, that should deserve to be on sci-fi." That would be giving sci-fi a bad name if we said this about this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't work. None of this movie worked. Not a single bit of it. I can't think of a single thing other than that one moment where Bruce Willis smiled, and I was like, "That's Bruce Willis." I don't know who else could that be. Other than that, there's nothing in this movie that's good.
I'm still not convinced Bruce was in this movie. He didn't do anything. Oh man! And then they give you this whole heartfelt love thing with him being led into the cave, and we get no story behind that. Nothing. Oh my god! This should be called. It's a cosmic sin that this movie was made.
Yes, absolutely.
What does Rotten Tomatoes say about this one?
Good lord! Here's a surprise for you. The tomato meter is at a 13%, which I don't understand why it's not lower.
It should be 0.
It should be negative something.
Yeah.
The audience score has nothing because no audience member has rated it yet.
Good. Good.
Which could be a good sign or a bad sign. I don't know what it is.
Everyone was smarter than us and didn't watch this movie.
Everybody's like, hell no, I'm not gonna watch it. Audience scores is 0 because there's no rating, and tomato meters are 13%. That tells you everything you need to know. Stay as far away from this movie as you can.
Whoa! I just hopped up on here to see some credits, and tomato meter just hit refresh on your page. Because it just went down to 11%.
Oh no! It went to 11. As we were speaking. Oh my goodness! 11%. As we're just not all minutes apart. 13% to 11%.
That's amazing. I love that.
Horrible.
This movie is getting worse by the minute. Literally.
Oh man, I just refreshed my page and yep. Good God. Stay away from this film. Save yourself the horror. It's not good.
Don't go watch at all.
Don't go watch it.
Just run away. Run away screaming. Wow. That's amazing.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Within minutes. So yeah. I think we've said it all. I don't think we can say anything else about this movie.
There's nothing left to say about it.
Just don't watch it.
Don't watch. And I'm sorry, Frank, because Frank is a good actor.
There were good people in this, like good actors. it's just a shame that the writing and the script was just bad. The direction was just it just didn't lend to any of those positives. It could have, but it didn't.
Oh man, yeah. Well, where you can find us running away from this fucking movie. And to GoWatchMovie.com, the one-stop shop for all things entertainment. Apologies for the mobile version of the site, but looks great on the web, on the PC. But the stories are there. I'll actually get. I'm not gonna put my trailer up there, but I may put the master teaser up there.
Why not?
You watched that trailer. You asked me that question again. Podcast is there, and the podcast can also be found anywhere a podcast can be played. Other than that, don't go watch Cosmic Sin.
Don't.
And I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert. Don't go watch Cosmic Sin. Stay away from it.
We're going to end on that.
It's god awful.
Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety-split it. Go watch a movie.